Hey, what's up, Rue Morgue? What's going on? I thought I wasn't gonna do this anymore. I don't know, man. Everything is in flux here. The last couple of issues of Rue Morgue, I really couldn't really do much with them. There wasn't really enough content I could sort of get into that I thought would be worthwhile. Of course, this is the December issue. This literally came out the day after Halloween. The Halloween issue came out in September. That's happened the last couple of years. That seems how they do it. And of course, this issue is better than the Halloween issues. And that used to not be that way, man. The Rue Morgue Halloween issues from like back in the aughts, and I mean those were. But anyway, regardless, let's get in here. Start with the Curtains. If you haven't seen Curtains, it's one of the great 80s slasher films. There we go. She's basically talking about the idea of true crime, because the main story here is a Canadian film. Remember, they're funded by the government of Canada, right? So Trudeau is gonna knock you out in the ring if you don't include enough Canadian content. So this Red Room film is essentially in the realm of true crime. It deals with a court drama, or you could say of a serial killer, and you don't see the murders, this bloodless horror, but you hear like audio, and that's the not seeing it is more chilling than seeing it, sort of thing. But she brings up the idea of what she doesn't like about the true crime. Now, it's not horror. I don't like true crime, serial killer stuff myself, but very human murderers and all kinds of non-supernatural things have always been a part of horror, cinema, or literature for more than a century. Okay, and tiptoeing through it is weird. Okay, like for example, one of the issues you're gonna have as progressive left-wing people is horror, right? It's pagan, it's ancient. The only equality is the equality of being butchered. Okay, there is hierarchy, whether it's supernatural or not. Okay, there's sadism, there's control, there's all sorts of things that are very uncomfortable to modern bourgeois liberal people. It's not uncomfortable to the actual people running the show. It never is, it never will be. But I just thought it was funny here too. He's talking about the film, and also there's makeup and there's cosmetology in this, where the woman rebranded a Jack the Ripper line of makeup, because Jack the Ripper, could be offensive because he killed actual real women. All right, she goes, I know this distinction seems moralistic. It makes me sound like some puritanical mother superior. Well, you actually, Andrew, no offense, you sort of do when it comes to like progressive causes. Hint, hint. It's evolved from Christianity, so, or a heresy, if But she's basically talking about she has the gumption to claim that a razor-fingered pedophile offering generations of his victims in their sleep is somehow more wholesome than an episode of Unsolved Mysteries. And trust me, I hate that. Yeah, I remember back in the good old days of 2019, the Queer Fear issue. Remember that? The video on it, with the cover proudly had a rainbow-shirted Freddy Krueger. And I remember saying, "Do you really want this character associated with this, with what you were trying to get at?" So I thought it was funny bringing that up. But anyway, of course, remember, Rue Morgue stands in solidarity with the striking writers and actors, with the labor, right? The labor of the writers and actors currently on strike. Without them, the media being covered here would not exist. And maybe I'll go. I'm all for strikes, and maybe I'll go against that now with this stuff they have. Nah, I'm just kidding. Halfway kidding. Of course, the tchotchkes. Always these damn tchotchkes are annoying. I remember these stickers, these puffy stickers back in the day. I remember these ones too. So anyway, this film, The Red Room. Welcome to the Red Room, honey. I used to like that song. It's a courtroom drama, It's a courtroom scene, right? You see, in Quebec, they still got the old barrister uniforms. But this creep, but you don't see like flashbacks. You hear the murders, which is even more chilling. Like what you don't see. Of course, you have two female main characters because that seems to be every horror film now, and how they react to it. They both have fascination with. I'm sure this one is the crazy looking one, but who knows these films. And Andre doesn't ask her usual like question as statement questions in here. I think it's funny too. He goes, "Do you have any theories as to why women in particular tend to respond to true crime?" Forget the red room. You gotta take a red pill there. But it's kind of funny where he's like, he brings up ideas that women have the savior complex. I know this exists. I have not seen this in my life, but I know that it has existed. They want to save them. Oh, with my love and understanding, he could change. If that is a thing, it is definitely dying out this generation. So. And there's a cliche of why women are attracted to bad boys. Right? Serial killer is the ultimate bad boy at the end of the day. I think it has to do with the Christian traditional upbringing of a lot of people. Well, it also has to do with Paleolithic realities. A Paleolithic woman is attracted to a man that kills, right? And men and women killed each other in the war before civilization. I'm getting off on a tangent. So, tell me about the decision to omit graphic violence. So that's what's interesting about it. He brings up creepypastas. Now, the editor at the Fangoria was like, "Don't give me your crappy creepypastas." But this guy is interesting where he's talking about, in terms of the podcast, they tell you horror stories. And they play with your head. They're much more efficient than 95% of horror films, okay? I mean, most of these creepypastas, you don't even know who invented them. So it's kind of interesting. You talk about content created by, like memes, like created by unknowns that spread everywhere. Anyway, so what is this? Some more Quebec movies. I was in Quebec in the 80s. Interesting. I'd like to go to Montreal at some point, but not right now. Probably not for a while. And I thought this was interesting. Here's an example of, that's interesting. It kind of challenges my general notion about Quebec. It's a very unique part of Canada with a population that fights to hang on to its uniqueness and its authenticity and its values. Oh, how dare they? Now, it's always funny about that. The French in Canada, the FC Sons knows this. If you go to Canada, everything, even if you're in like British Columbia or where there's like no French-speaking Canadians, everything has to be in English and in French. It seems kind of pushy, and the French were very pushy. I mean, a lot of the stuff was about trying to not have these people separate. Of course, I understand why they did what they did. If the French Canadians had gone along with like how so many other Americans went along with things, they wouldn't be speaking French anymore. They held on, and they were total a-holes, and they still have their culture. I don't mean interesting, right? And of course, in America, the FC Sons, if you're probably watching this, the French-speaking part of America, okay, is Western Louisiana. It's called Acadia. Okay, it's almost like their own country. Western Louisiana, not New Orleans, but Western Louisiana, right, is a fascinating place. It has those above ground crypts. Everything is on bricks. They grow like rice there. There's rice paddies all over. It's very wet. You have French speaking radio. You have French country music. You have all kinds of interesting, unique foods like sausages and gator meat and all kinds of stuff. Fascinating part of America that not a lot of people are aware of. Okay, is this? Are you going over a horror magazine, or are you going over a travel brochure? Jerk off. Anyway, this is gonna take more than one vid.